Hey everyone, Nick Brick here with a Halo build. Formerly known as the M392 Designated Marksman Rifle, here's the LEGO DMR from Halo Reach. In Reach, the DMR is a precision rifle used by the UNSC Army and, to an extent, the Marines. In lore, it can fire semi-auto and full auto, but in game it's restricted to semi-auto only. In the multiplayer, it can drop a fully shielded Spartan in 5 shots if the 5th shot hits the head. The LEGO DMR is 35.5 inches long, weighs 5.5 pounds, and took about a week to build along with some digital planning. The build started with some digital design work. Typically I don't do this as I prefer to tinker with physical parts in hand, but as of this build I'm finishing a degree in engineering and don't have much time to return to my collection. So, with that said, various sketch models of the sight, Indented Triangles, and the Handguard were built in Studio 2.0 to ensure efficient use of my time when I was actually able to build. All other sections of the build were designed by hand. It's especially easier to design functions by hand than digitally, well, for me at least. Speaking of functions, this replica has a few. These include a moving trigger, sliding bolt handle, and a removable magazine. The build is so sturdy that you can really smack the magazine into place. Next, let's take a look at the details on the DMR. There's a lot. Protruding out the front is an array of 3 cylindrical details. We have the muzzle, the gas tube, and the flashlight. Not really much to say about the gas tube or the flashlight, but the muzzle is pretty interesting. Looking closely at it, it's built twisted 45 degrees to place these prongs properly for the cross-shaped muzzle flash. Also along the barrel is this front post sight. The top of it was a design that was actually suggested by a fan, so I gotta say thanks for their contribution to this model. Now we move on to the handguard, which was built so that the angled ventilation slots allow for visibility straight through them. Inverted slopes on the top and new cutout curved slopes create these slots. Below the handguard is this angled grip. Inside of it are some Technic supports, which maintain the angle formed between the 2 panels forming the grip. It's surprisingly comfortable to hold. Now to the scope, which unfortunately is not see-through. The 2 lenses of the in-game scope are not in line, which you can kind of see here, and that would work on a real scope, but it complicates things on a LEGO model. What's lost in function is compensated in detail, I suppose. One such detail is the brick-built UNSC logo on both sides of the scope. Near the sight is the ammo counter. The counter itself was done with 1x1 letter tiles and obviously doesn't work. Guess this DMR has bottomless clip? Never mind. A prominent detail on the DMR, as well as its precision rifle cousin, the battle rifle, are these indented triangles. These were what I designed first. I had to come up with a technique that would be simple enough to repeat, but also create indents that are not too deep. So here's a quick mock-up of how this technique works. The triangles actually sit loose, but are held in place by internal geometry, as you can kind of see. Then, of course, built in proper colors, repeat down the length of this section. Since building the M8A1 from Black Ops 2, I've developed a grip technique that's become my go-to technique. Ball joints with bars are used to create a sturdy connection, allowing for any angle I want, as you can see me reattach the grip here. Also in this area you can see the trigger guard and overall handguard, built using some hinges to match their curvatures. Finally, the stock area. This section of the in-game rifle has some intricate texturing, but it's more of a flat texture due to graphical limitations. However, on the LEGO model, I took each shape that you can see on the stock and gave them a 1-plate depth. Old printed 1x2 tiles with arrows indicate where the mag extension is, which are on the in-game model too and help show where to grab the mag for a Spartan-style brute force unload without a mag release. Let's look at the mag itself. Studying the reload animation of the DMR in slow motion allowed me to capture the grooves on it. On top is a 7.62 round, which definitely isn't to scale, but it's what I could do with the parts I had. As mentioned earlier, this area of the rifle is super sturdy. I avoid using glue or tape in all my models, and I try to apply my engineering knowledge to play up the strengths of LEGO pieces in ways you wouldn't expect from a fragile construction toy. Overall, I'm pleased to finally present a LEGO replica of the DMR. It's a gun design I've wanted to build for a long time, and the release of Halo Reach on PC was just the excuse to do it. It's my favorite art style and storyline in the entire Halo series. So this LEGO model, it's solid, it's detailed, and the weight of it makes it feel like a real rifle, albeit much more plastic. I hope the wait for this now iconic Halo weapon in LEGO was worth it for all you watching. Now let's test out the DMR. Subscribe for more LEGO gaming builds. Also, like, comment, and share if you enjoyed the LEGO DMR from Halo Reach.